Getting lost in the system is a constant concern for kids that are in foster care. Their education can be severely impacted by delays in enrollment, transferring schools, and receiving their academic records as they move from one foster home to another.
A new law called the Uninterrupted Scholars Act is helping to ease anxiety and provide more access to crucial information. Congresswoman Karen Bass, representing the 37th District of LA, is the founder and co-chair of the Congressional Caucus on Foster Youth. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Glad to be here.
And it's great to have you here because this is an issue that most of us don't really think about in our daily lives. You think, okay, there are kids in the foster care system, and then they eventually graduate high school and have the same chance that everyone does. But that's not really the case. Because of the way the academic records don't follow them.
Right, and it's actually the opposite. You know, the average high school student that's a foster child is transferred 3 to 5 times. So can you imagine going to 3 to 5 high schools? And a lot of times when the children are transferred, it's not really clear as to why they were moved from home to home. I met one young man who, in the time he was in foster care, which was around 2 years old until he was 18, was moved 50 different times.
50 times?
50 times. And so when they move from school to school, the records don't immediately follow. And that was the goal and purpose of the legislation.
And adding to the fact that they're already dealing with an unstable home environment, it's such a problem. I do a lot of work with foster kids, and one of the areas that we're really concerned about are these kids that age out.
Exactly.
What kind of help are you looking at finding for them?
Well, first of all, if you can just imagine, there's no 18-year-old, I don't care what your circumstances were, that can be independent, you know, completely from their parents, unless they're a rock star or something like that. So the children in the foster care system need the same thing that any child needs, which is a safety net, financial, emotional, physical. And so about 60% of the kids that quote-unquote age out of the system wind up incarcerated, they wind up homeless. So essentially what we do when they turn 18 is really kind of just turn them out. So what we're working for in LA County certainly has been at the lead of is providing independent living programs so that when the children age out, they actually can go into supportive housing where there's counseling, they can get academic support because they need assistance. Now, when I was in Sacramento, we were able to provide that assistance up until the age 21. Frankly, I think it needs to be much longer, and so we're going to work on that in Washington, D.C.
They're running us out the door, but I just want to ask you about some of the kids that you were able to take to Washington for the inauguration. Tell us about that experience.
Sure. Well, you know, exposing the youth to Washington is really important. So we invited 3 foster youth, actually they're young adults, to attend the inauguration, and they were there for several days. So they had tours. They also talked to different legislators about foster care, and they had their recommendations, their legislative recommendations. We take them very seriously.
We appreciate the work that you're doing on behalf of our foster youth in our state. We really appreciate it. Karen Bass, we so appreciate you making time for us today.
Absolutely.
And we wish you continued success.
Thank you.
A lot of hard work ahead of you. For more information on fosteryouthcaucus.org. That's the website. We'll also have a link on our website. And a big thank you to Congresswoman Karen Bass for stopping by.
Good to see you. Thanks for coming.